Alrighty, folks. So, welcome back to another session of our Out of the Abyss. I'm your Dungeon Master, Dungeon Mister. I'm joined by our wonderful players today. If you guys want to say hello, you can if you want.
Hello.
Howdy there.
Hello.
And well, we're gonna start the session off the same way we start every session, with a little bit about what happened last time before we get into what's gonna happen this time. So, last time, after fending off a pair of hook horrors over this smoky chasm, came to blows with a couple of rocks, demonic vulture creatures with piercing screeches, and stunning and spreading spores about. These foes were a challenge on their own, and as you had defeated one of them, and the other was on the ropes, smaller demons started to appear around the area. The Dretches, these stinking hound like demons, bellowing out, letting loose their scent and attacks. And as you nearly had the other rock defeated, a much bigger and bulkier frog demon finished it for you. This creature was an imposing force to be reckoned with, and its stench as bad as the others. At one point, Fungi almost got knocked clean off of the cliff, but held on tight. Weller took the brunt of the attacks from this new, larger demon, but little by little, you dwindled down the demonic forces over the land bridges and taking down the hounds. Still have the stinking frog assaulting you. And eventually, you defeated the demon, ending it. And as it fell from the ledge into the smoky abyss below, you could all hear it speak into your heads. We're coming. And with the battle won, you crossed the span of the chasm with your trusty immovable rod and a certain floating jellyfish creature that is following you around. You made your way to a narrower cave, taking a breather. Up in this cave led to a massive and expansive, newly opened cavern of crystals and shimmering light here. With your destination in mind, this place was not on the maps, but that's where we're going to pick up. You guys took a little short rest. Is there anything you'd like to do before moving forward, and how are you moving forward?
Um. Okay. Are we ready to move? Everybody up and at 'em?
Yeah, is there anything we want to do in this immediate area? I think you were going to look for crystals, or had you already done that?
Well, there's crystals everywhere spanning this place. There's large ones, small ones. The smaller ones are the ones that kind of seem to be glowing with this faint light, occasionally flickering, but it's definitely, I believe Casmus had sensed that there is the pocket of Faerzes, that underdark radiation. But it's a big place.
Well, we can just be on the lookout for anything interesting as we move forward, if that's what you all wish to do.
Still have my little bat friend. He can keep looking out ahead for us.
Yeah, how long do you have him for?
Couple hours.
Yeah, it should
Okay.
be about 2 hours, I think.
So he can
Yeah,
just
he
kind of
has
scout
2
ahead.
hours. I don't know how long we've been using them so far, but
Like 30 minutes. Like it was during that short rest period. Yeah, you can absolutely use the bat to help.
Hey,
Bat friend. Na 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 na.
I love it.
Sorry, I missed it. I dropped out for a second. Did I miss
You're good.
anything?
I think they were discussing sending the bat forward because you still have it for like an hour and a half more to try and scope out a situation or a path forward, if nothing else.
Yeah. Maybe we can use it to find a path, and we can poke around here, see if there's anything in the immediate area of interest, or it can go ahead of us. I'm not sure what the travel distance of it is, but it can go ahead of us as we start making our way. What do you guys think? Anything around here of interest, or just go ahead and pack up and push on?
I'd say back up and we push on, having the bat forward, yeah. If it does anything, it's gonna warn us. But we're seeing a light at the end, right?
There's not a light. There's no end. This is a large cave system. There's no obvious path that's just like spanning. There's some water flowing here and there. Occasional like waterfalls, like it just recently burst open. Not flooding, but just trickling down. And these giant crystals, like it spans much farther than you can see. So it's not like there's a light at the end. It's just that there's little bits of pockets of light here and there.
I guess we just
How
keep
high
going
is-
forward.
Yeah. How high is like the dome of the area that we're in?
I would say it's less of a dome, but like I'd say the immediate area is probably like 80 feet high.
Okay.
But it also goes down a little bit too. So it's not like this cave that you walked into is just like an open fissure essentially, and you're looking into. It's very similar to like looking into the Grand Canyon if it was a cave. Maybe not that big, but like a big canyon-like area with crystals all throughout and water spurting out the sides of it and the top of it and under it. And in here there would also be plenty of like columns and rock formations that are very eerily like the shadows. You think like, oh, there's a person there, and like, no, it's nothing.
So let's trek for like half hour to an hour and stop for a little bit, let the bat get ahead, and keep us apprised of what's ahead of us.
Yeah, just kind of leapfrog with the bat.
Yeah.
Are you just
I like
wandering aimlessly, or?
Well,
We
I
kind
want
of
to say aimlessly, let him go ahead and kind of see if he can find maybe not a path, but just what's a clear way walking forward in this direction that we're already kind of in.
Yeah, I thought he had already kind of scouted ahead a little bit at the end of last.
Yeah,
session.
he came into this place and looked around and
Gotcha,
saw that it was,
gotcha,
and
okay.
that's how you saw that this was this big expansive space. Again, if you look at the picture, I think I'll put it back up. The crystal cluster. If you can kind of make out in the bottom left corner of that picture, there's two shadowy figures. Those are people.
okay.
Oh,
We have to fight 'em.
given a
Give you a kind of perspective of how fucking big this place is. It's huge.
massive.
Well, why didn't you say so?
I'll do better next time of saying so.
Just really burying the lead. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. It is huge. Okay.
Yep.
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, we got to
So it
fight those
appears
two
as
people.
though there may be a path that we can walk.
So don't
Yeah.
use that for reference. It's like you can try to find a path. There's not like, yeah, here's this perfect pathway down. It's like, yeah, there you can kind of imagine a path going one direction or another if you like do some hop and a skip, or you go down the slide sort of thing. It's varied.
So we're still trying to make our way to the mushroom people. So we're trying to make our way north-ish. Do we have a way to find direction?
You do have a
That's
map.
no-
You have this map.
Right.
It's not super obvious based on the twists and turns that you took while you were running, what direction you're facing. I would say if you want to try to find direction, it would be a survival check.
All right, I can do that one along with the bat, trying to find our way to go. I can roll.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a survival, looking for direction and a way forward, the survival check would be done with the map, not necessarily the bat.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. All right.
All right. Well,
I-
let's fan out and start looking for some sort of clues that will get us in the direction that we're supposed to be going.
So is someone consulting the map?
I would say Fungi would happily check the
Yeah.
map and see if we can find the way to go.
Give me a survival check.
I was waiting for an okay to roll.
With it 17. Yeah, you think that this has probably taken your path off a little bit. I can't move that. To the east or to the west of where you previously were. So making kind of like a right turn in here and maybe hugging the right wall for a little bit, but it does seem to go down a little ways. Like it is kind of like a slope of just craggy rocks and crystals and the occasional stream that you have to cross over.
Right. I'm gonna vote that when we get to a place that has rivers, we orient ourselves to those to see if we can figure out what stream is what, and then try to stick to them as much as possible because they're the most obvious landmarks to follow. And so lead the way, Fungi, if you have some sort of bearing.
Well, I can then take the bat where we are. See if I can get the bat to look ahead towards where I might find some water. Maybe listen out for some running water. With its
I mean, you can
walking
see
back.
some running water just glistening in the cavern light.
All right, let's start walking towards that direction and kind of follow along with it.
Okay.
Have we been following this stream for a while?
You guys just saw this. Like, this just happened. Like, you guys just came into here. This is where this everything is new. The streams look new. Like, there's no, like, grooves. Like, yeah, water's been running here for a while. This is all, like, it's running across flat surfaces. Like a freshly cracked geode. Not quite geode size. And not quite all covered in crystals, but there's several about. But heading over to one of these streams, kind of following that direction, you can easily...
Do we have any idea of the scale of this map? Like, in terms of account of like of miles from like where we think we might be to where how far, you know, the mushy people might be. Like, any idea of like how far is a mile? 5 miles, 10 miles? We got an idea.
I'd say with a 17 survival previously, kind of trying to figure out this map. It's miles. Like, probably a good 100, 200.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
To the mushy people from your current location.
We'll be traveling for a few days.
To say the least. But using your bat to scout ahead as you reach one of these streams. Give me a perception check with the bat.
With the bat. Quick second here. I just gotta pull the bats. I don't remember if they have a. Damn, I think it's back on that.
They have keen hearing.
Sorry. Yeah, it's. Alright, they got just +1 on wisdom.
Alright, with a 15, looking ahead, the area looks treacherous to travel, for sure. And that is a bet. It does look treacherous, as lots of the ground seems to have, well, shifted recently. with a 15, not too terribly far ahead, like maybe a few hundred feet ahead of you, you could hear some crunching. Coming from the direction that you're looking towards.
Can we find cover? Is it coming towards us?
No, it's not going anywhere.
And
You just hear it ahead.
Crunching of what?
Sounds kind of like gravel almost.
Song is gonna put his arms out, tell the wolf, wait, and I'm gonna change my perceptions to follow along with the bat and try and guide him to find that.
You
The
can, you
crunching
can
noise
only
so I can
see 100 feet with the bat, I think. Or is it more?
Well,
I know you can tell, you can communicate with it out to a mile.
if we can hear, I assume it's where's Wild Companion?
Well, it's just a Find Familiar spell, so look at the Find Familiar.
Okay, yeah. I thought there was more inside of that.
Yeah, but 100 feet is the most you can communicate with it. Might be 150. Or the most you can see through it.
Yeah, communicate with it is within 100 feet. Oh yeah, okay, so it's just 100 feet.
So it's 100 feet for both, okay.
When you feel yeah. Okay, so it's only 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it might be maybe it's too close for us to try and do that anyway. Then.
Or too far, but yeah.
Oh.
Unless you want to go check it out. It seems to be on the direction that you are headed. Along this semblance of a path. It's just this crunching, like gravel underfoot almost. Doesn't seem to be moving.
Just go really slow and be sneaky.
We're not the stealth, yes.
Well, we don't necessarily have to go as a group. We can send a scout ahead to get eyes on. Any volunteers?
Someone that is quiet.
I'll go.
All right.
Work out a system real quick where if you see something that is either going to attack you or you need help with, flail wildly, and we will come in support.
The wildest.
All right. I feel good about this.
Okay. I'll go with sneaking.
All right. As you go sneaking ahead, give me a stealth check.
I don't know why I rolled twice
I
again.
rolled twice. I'm going to take that first roll of
Sure.
the 24. As you're creeping ahead, the rest of you would lose sight of Rincewind as he has to kind of pass around a large pillar. And Rincewind, as you kind of creep around this corner, essentially, kind of hopping every now and then from solid platform to solid platform. Not too terribly hard for you, but you would see this tunnel going deep into the earth. See the familiar sight of several swirling marks along the caves in here, along the walls, ceiling in here kind of dips down to maybe 30 feet. And a couple of more crystals emerging from other stones, multicolored, not that like white or bluish white or purplish white color. There's reds, blues, purples, oranges. It's a rainbow of colors. And that crunching noise, you would see this large, three-legged, three-armed creature with a single maw at the center of its being facing upward and a single eye darting around, yellow eye with just a slit for its pupil. Entirely made of what looks to be stony body. And it just seems to be kind of grabbing different crystals and plunging them into its mouth. You would see this thing.
Oh. Okay.
Does not seem to take note of you.
Good. What's it actually doing?
It's eating crystals.
It's just eating the crystals?
Yep. It seems to be
Like-
kind of like scanning the crystals around. And actually, as it turns, you notice it actually has three eyes, one on different sides. As it kind of spins around to inspect a crystal as it breaks it off and just kind of throws it on the ground. You might see this occasional flash of light as it does, but it would then kind of take one, inspect it, like put it up right next to its eye, and then just dip it right into that mouth as you hear the crunching of it chewing up these crystals.
Okay. Does there look to be like a way around that thing, or is it?
It looks like this path goes nearby it. You'd have to travel within like probably 30 feet of it to get past this creature.
Okay.
Give me an Arcana check. All right. You have no idea what this is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to make my way back to the group as quietly as I can.
Absolutely. No need for another stealth roll because you haven't actually interacted with anything to change that. So you make your way back to the group about 300 or so feet away.
Okay. And then I'm going to relay. So the tunnel was does it seem like the thing was like eating the stone and making the tunnel, or was it the tunnel already there? And
The
he's just,
tunnel's already
like-
there. It's just they are eating.
Okay. So I'll relay back to the group about the Zorn.
You don't know what it is, but
yeah,
yeah,
I
the
don't know what it
creature. This weird
But I'll
rock-eating
describe-
creature.
The law of threes there as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
3 toes, 3 arms, 3 legs, 3 eyes.
Would one of us be able to recognize it with his description?
You give me an Arcana check. With a 15, it sounds like some form of an earth elemental. Oh, I didn't mean to show you guys Turvy. But it sounds like some form of earth elemental creature.
He'd say that to the group.
Okay. So it didn't seem hostile. It looked like it was eating rocks. So I don't know. I mean, it looks really scary.
Mm-hmm. It's
But
big.
but it's eating rocks
It's
instead of
easily
like,
like 8 feet tall and probably about 8 or 9 feet wide. And it's just kind of these reaching arms.
yeah. So I mean,
Is there a way around it?
I mean, the path goes right by it. I don't know if it's. I mean, knowing where we are, I feel very strongly it's got a live and let live nature to it. But it didn't seem like like I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say it didn't seem like it was aggressive or anything but I mean, it just feels like something that eats rocks might not be terribly enticed to attack unless we mess with it.
If it eats rocks, it might not be interested in eating us, is what
That's
you're
what
saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't know. But I mean, then again, if it eats rocks, it might eat anything. So there you go.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and if it's an elemental and we get too close, it might try to defend its surrounding or itself.
Yeah. So, so I don't know. Do we? I mean, I think I still can't tell how far the path is going because I decided not to go up and around it. But if we want to go, or if we want to try to go around it, but that thing is huge again, and I'm not really looking for a fight right now, unless I absolutely have to.
I'd say we sneak past it. We don't really have a choice.
Dusk, what do you think? I haven't.
Well, I suppose we should try to move past it, although if it has an eye on each side of its body, I'm not entirely sure sneaking is a big option. Perhaps if we just pass by quickly and quietly, it will leave us alone and we will leave it alone.
That's where I'm at.
Seems reasonable enough.
Wait. Weller, where's your fancy rock?
That seems a rather personal question.
Do you still have that big fancy blue rock?
I do.
Maybe we should put that in the bag.
Okay. You think he might try to eat it?
He's eating rocks, and you got a tasty one.
It's a fair point.
Who's
All
got
right.
the stone, the stone speaker stone?
That stone. That's way worse.
I got it. He only points to his to
Just strapped to
attached
his back.
bag. To his bag, his book bag, yeah, on his hip.
Oh yeah, so I'll just keep my rock and we can toss Casmus at him. He's got to be more interested in that thing, right?
No, is it when you were going by? Was there a stream along there too?
There was no water nearby. I would say this is kind of like a slightly uphill. It was like going downhill, and then it kind of went off to the side kind of cave when it went a little up, and there was no water nearby. But you did note the swirly marks. Swirly lights, I should say.
Would if fungi was wild shaped into one of the creatures that could walk on walls spider like, would these crystal formations give him any trouble? Or would he be able to walk along them normally?
Yeah, they're not like super dense anywhere. They're just kind of sporadic here and there. I'd say it looks like you could it's a little thorny or a little spiky on the ceiling, but it's not anything a creature that can climb on ceilings couldn't handle, like a spider.
Okay. The two nice rocks we have is the giant stone and the fancy blue one.
You actually have quite a number of fancy rocks.
Mm-hmm.
What other fancy rocks do we have, guys?
Dusk will take his pouch and put it in the bag of holding.
It
And he will
explodes.
say, right? I will say to Casmus, I expect that back, or I will claw your eyes out. And he'll
You'll
walk
get
off.
that back. Don't worry about it.
I'll give him my water elemental.
All right. So everything, all the stones go in the bag.
But I
Well, can
will
we-
tell
Yes,
him.
Are we able to put the giant stone into the bag? Wasn't that like a
it-
risk before because of the?
It was risky because it was pointy.
The
And-
stone crystal, he would
and it's
probably just
big.
wrap it in the cloth and hide it. As much
What
as
I
he
could do is I could try taking the bag and wild shape. I think if I wild shape, I can take
Yeah,
the magic item,
it
form them
kind of
into a thing.
transforms into you. Yeah.
and I could probably walk a further distance up and around from where it is, so that hopefully he doesn't notice me with it. And
I'm
if
gonna
he does
laugh
notice, he might
when
not-
this is the friendliest creature down here.
yeah, right.
Like his
Yeah.
name's George.
That's
It's
not
just, hang on,
saying
I'm gonna
much.
go walk around.
His name's George. He's just gonna be real happy to see us, and we're sitting here like figuring out how to avoid this guy.
That would mean he would
So-
just want to maim us and not kill us.
Fair.
You
So-
rump and jump.
Yeah, so you want to take the bag and the stone speaker crystal and make sure that they don't get eaten by that creature.
Yeah, I'll take that just before we're ready to go.
All right.
Little pass off. Anything else you guys would like to do before you attempt to traverse the area with this 3x3x3 creature? And only one mouth though.
Yeah, see, he can only eat one of us at a time if he wants to eat us. There's enough of us, we can certainly take the guy, right?
Oddly enough,
We've killed worse.
the picture does have it looks like a giant butthole under it.
Oh, that's a point of weakness.
Just by the way the art
Maybe.
looks. It might have it might have 3 of them.
Oh,
Right.
wow. Whoa, shit.
That's what it said.
Oh shit, shit, shit.
Yeah, exactly. But art regardless. Yeah. What are you guys doing? Just sneaking on by?
So I suppose we're just going to discreetly stride past it.
Well, yeah, I mean, not like we're going to draw attention to ourselves, but we should definitely try to. I mean, the way I see it, and I'm going to try to talk under my breath here, is we just have to outrun Rumpadump.
Did anybody hear what he said?
I did.
So, so let's start heading in that direction.
All right. As we get ready to go, I'll take the bag and the stone, and I'm going to. I think this is gonna make my bat disappear along with me, but I will use my other wild shape to go into a wolf spider. Got my fastest climbing speed.
All right.
I'm going to climb probably at least 40, 60 feet up along.
The ceilings in here are only 30 feet high.
Oh, we're only 30.
In
Okay, well, I'm going to
this
go up.
small place, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still in the bigger spot.
Well, it kind of goes down into a smaller area.
Yeah, we're in a tunnel, a smaller
Yeah,
tunnel.
it goes into like a
Follow-
side tunnel.
All right. Well, I'm still going to try and keep my distance as much as I can. It's not.
I got you.
It's medium. So
Yeah.
it's still freaking big for a spider, but hopefully he's not paying. He's not looking for spiders.
Yeah, you can definitely cling to the ceilings in here.
And yeah, like I said, I got the bag and I got everything kind of morphed in with me.
All right. As you all try to sneak forward unnoticed, I want everyone to give me a stealth check. Por favor.
Oh, I didn't realize this wolf spider's got very good stealth.
Yeah. Always got to be one, right? Go ahead and roll for Turvy. Just for funsies.
Oh, right.
I'm right behind you.
For one, I didn't roll shit on the cell.
Should have
see,
passed that
stealth.
trace before I
He
transformed.
does have a stealth.
All right. As you guys are kind of sneaking along, hugging the wall opposite of it, you would hear that incessant crunch, crunch. It seems to stop for a moment as you get about halfway past this creature. Its body seems to drop whatever's in its hands. You would hear out loud, as it starts to kind of spin over towards your group. Slowly, for sure. And it seems to be approaching you as you're kind of tiptoeing along along the side of this cave. And just hearing it speak.
Okay.
Well, most things sneak up on us and attack us first.
Does anything speak... Any one of you speak Primordial?
Nope.
Or more specifically Terran, but Primordial passes.
Nope. Abyssal.
All right. It seems like it's trying to talk to you. And one of its arms would like point at you guys.
Huh.
And then it points back to the crystals it was just eating that are multicolored and kind of like the swirls of color that are lighting up the area very dimly. But the area is pretty dimly lit. So you can see pretty well. In color.
Are there any...
Go
Are
ahead.
there any... Go ahead.
No, you talk first.
Are there any crystals near us that are like the ones that were near him before?
No. In fact, the wall that you're sneaking across has no crystals.
No crystals?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring you to a map of the area. This absolutely does not mean a fight. I'm telling you now. It was over here eating these crystals. It was just like chomping down. And it came over to say hello.
Okay.
Would I be able to fake with deception talking and maybe make it go away?
What are you hoping to say in its language?
That we're not, we don't mean harm.
Oh, man.
Really hope that's
While
not
he's-
deception.
You're going to say some
While he's
real
doing that,
offensive
can I
shit.
put my hands up and kind of like
Yeah.
not like
non-threatening.
try it? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Non-threatening.
It'll mimic that too, with all three of its
Yeah.
hands that go up. Casmus, what do you say?
We mean you no harm. We just want to go through.
I mean, what does it sound like as Casmus says this?
Oh, it sounds like he's just clearing his throat. That's all it sounds like. Yeah.
Give me a deception check at disadvantage.
Ooh, I think you put the umlaut over the wrong letter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not bad. It kind of looks towards you. And then it kind of gestures towards its mouth.
Do we have any of those fancy things, fancy gems, fancy stones that we just put in the bag of holding? Do we have anything like we could offer him? Like maybe this is a
I
troll
don't have
under the
the
bridge
bag
situation.
anymore.
As we were walking in, coming into that tunnel, were there any other deposits, or is this the first deposit of like the glowing crystals that we've seen?
This is the first
Well-
deposit of these multicolored crystals that you've seen.
Why did he just move closer?
He's trying to like because Casmus was speaking, so it's like he's trying to be polite and speak to Casmus. Although it's hard to tell with this creature because it does have a very spiky mouth.
Okay.
Do we see anything fancy in the area that may, for lack of a better term, tickle his fancy?
You don't notice. I mean, in here, there's obviously the very fancy crystals that he was just eating, but it seems to be kind of like dissatisfied with them. But there's no other like crystals about. There's this weird magic energy swirling about the space.
Okay. So, I reckon that it's hungry. Because it keeps. Is it pointing to its mouth? You said, or pointing to the crystals?
It's pointing to its mouth. And
So-
when it's speaking to you guys, it was pointing to the crystals for a second when it first approached, but then after Casmus said what he said, it points to its mouth with a kukuku.
Okay. So, I'm not.
It hasn't attacked
I'm
us
gonna
yet.
kind of like turn my back to it, I guess, and kind of keep in a low whisper so that, because I don't know if this thing really understands us or if it's just putting on airs here. But I'm gonna say, like, this thing is obviously like looking for food, or is asking for help with its food. Is there anything that we can help this thing out with before to help us get on our way? Does anybody have anything? Does Turdy have anything?
Everything's in the bag.
And we can't talk to Fun Guy because he's way the fuck over there.
Like,
Um,
None of our friends.
I'm definitely
speak
watching
any
everything
helpful
from
language,
over.
right?
right, but you obviously can't hear what I'm saying to them either. Because if I'm trying to keep my voice low enough that the Zorn thing
Right.
can't hear it,
Well, I can't hear you.
So then I'll turn to the flying spaghetti monster and say, "Hey,
Oh.
what's the 411 on these things? Have you seen these before?"
Oh, yes, that's a Zorn.
Uh-huh. Okay. Did anybody pack a monster manual?
Oh, they eat precious gems. They often like to harass other people for gems of their own.
Yeah, so it's like it's a troll under the bridge situation. Like instead of solving a riddle, we gotta give them something.
They
Oh,
do tend to be helpful. They might have knowledge of this place.
But
But how would we communicate?
how
with
are
them?
we going to communicate with it?
um,
How about
He'll kind of use his tentacles and hold out Rumpadump and Stool.
yeah,
Use
that's
these.
exactly.
We're gonna feed them to the Zorn.
No, we're going to slash them with our swords and use their blood to write in the sand.
Oh. Stool. They both. Rumpadump just goes limp in the Noodle's arms.
It's a joke,
As
guys.
Stool
Calm down.
has a scared look on his face, but Rumpadump's like, all right, whatever.
Do either one of you wait? You all communicate with us telepathically. Can you do the same with this?
They'll kind of shake their spores about each of them, and Stool will be like, "What do you mean, telepathic?" No, as the spores kind of cover the area. No, we can just talk to it with the spores. It's a communication. without
Man,
them.
I love pedantic NPCs.
Can you communicate with the Zorn?
Well, you can if the
Legibly?
spores are present, and everyone that has the same spores from the same creature can communicate to everything.
Wait. Is this the first time we're figuring that out?
Well, you guys never
No.
asked. I mean, that's how we were able to talk
We
to you originally.
We have translators with us. So, like, we could talk to this thing now. Or did the spores not get over to Zorn?
I can spread them over there if you want.
Can you do
no,
it
no.
in-
We were just asking if you were able to do it because we were wondering if you were able to do it.
Can you do it in the most non-threatening manner whatsoever? Because I would hate for him to eat you first.
Rumpadump will say, it'll probably eat him, but, that's life. His stool kind of scoots off of Cappy and waddles forward, spreading its spores about, touching the Zorn as the Zorn kind of looks curiously at this little mushroom. And you would hear the Zorn's voice. Why? What? I just feel hungry. What? Oh. Oh. And at the same time, you would hear the cooker. Do you have any good gems?
Okay, first and foremost, don't eat that little guy. Because he's not a gem.
I'm not a gem. Oh, wait, you can understand me?
Yeah, we can talk now. That's what he just did. We're figuring this out as we go along, too.
That's amazing.
Can we help you look for maybe a gem?
I smell. You have something precious on you. Sometimes the people here flatten them and give them to others. Do you have any
Coin?
flattened?
Coins?
Take
We got a
out,
few coins.
Yeah, I'll take out a gold coin and show him.
Oh yeah. Do you have more?
I've got got some silver if you want that too.
Silver's okay. What else you got?
That's about it.
I'm gonna toss him my copper, and I'll say, "How about a penny for your thoughts?" And as I toss it, I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts, but I'm gonna keep it surface level.
Okay. Surface level is I can smell it all on you.
All right.
Why are
and
they
then,
holding out?
I'm gonna say, do you know which way we would go to get to Moonlight Grove? Have you heard of this?
With the mushroom people? Like
Yes.
them. I stay away from there. Stones taste weird. Stones over here taste weird. I don't like them.
So you know where it's at.
Yeah.
Does he picture it in his mind?
It'd be less of a picture, more of like, oh yeah, I obviously know where it's at, kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I understand that you may not like the stones there, but we're headed there. Do you know which direction we would take?
If you give me something good to eat, I can show you the way.
Casmus,
Mm-hmm.
I need my pouch again.
Something tasty.
I mean, do I look like I got the bag, Dusk?
Well, it's your bag.
Fungi took the bag so we could hide anything potentially precious. So you.
Well,
I
but
mean, I'm watching
I
everything.
know
so-
that, but it's Casmus's bag.
It's the group's bag, but bag, yeah. He would
But
point.
you
He would,
carry it.
I did. I gave it to.
Yeah.
The spider boofed it.
Yeah, Gasmus wouldn't say who he gave it to, but he would say gave it. I gave it to you know.
Come on.
Dusk is just going to stare at him.
Stop holding out on me. I know you got it.
You're sounding more like a drug fiend instead of just hungry.
I'm very hungry.
I'll give him a gold and 5 silver pieces.
It'll take a lot of that.
This is starting to sound like a shakedown.
Yeah, right?
Dusk will start climbing up the wall towards the spider.
You gotta pay the toll.
I'll show you the way. There's no problem. You just gotta get those gems or precious metals, man.
When he reaches the spider, he will open up the bag and say, "My pouch."
So it's not on the spider, it is the spider. All equipment being
You're butcher. I'm just
worn.
waving up.
It is the spider.
I come out of wild shape
In the
in
spider.
order to get the bag back.
Yeah. So you look up at the spider and there's no bag. It's just the spider.
Dusk is just going to go hold his hand out like,
Gimme.
Gonna put up my front 2 arms, legs.
So, let's look at the creature. What exactly do you want to eat?
Something good. None of this stuff. The other ones explode. I don't want that. Gets all bright.
Wait, which ones explode?
The white ones.
Okay.
Yeah, it hurt. I upset my tummy. A lot of bubbles. I don't want bubble gut.
All right, so here's the thing. You can obviously smell that we have some precious items on us that you want. We're not going to give them all to you. But we'll...
Oh, come on, man.
No, we can't give them all to you. Some of them have very sentimental value to us. And it would make us very sad.
Can I have one?
But we will give you one. How's that?
Well, I gotta see it and smell it first.
Okay. Fun guy. Can you materialize our bag for us?
Very down the wall. I'm gonna look over at everybody. I'm gonna look for a confirming kind of like head shake before I unwild shape. I'm assuming nobody else is saying no. I'll switch back into fungi shape. And I've got the bag and whatnot.
Oh, wow. More
Guys-
mushroom people. No wonder you guys are wanting to go there. It smells weird.
now Dusk will retrieve his pouch.
Here you go.
Oh, what you got in there?
Dusk will retrieve from his pouch 1 sapphire. And he'll hold it up clearly for the creature to see.
Kind of looks it over. Just kind of be spinning with eye to eye as it kind of waddles around. The entire time this thing is talking to you guys, you would still consistently hear that k-k-k. What is the gold value on that sapphire?
50.
Got anything more?
Dusk will sigh, and he'll pull out a second one of the same value.
Oh. Give me a persuasion check. As it just got very excited as its claws start kind of click-clacking.
Dusk doesn't do persuasion.
I'll give you advantage on it. not bad. Okay. As its mouth kind of starts chittering like it's ready to chomp. I'll show you the way. For those two. Deal?
Dusk will throw them to him.
And just kind of clasps one and the other. It kind of just catches in its mouth. As you would hear a very audible swallow, followed by several loud grinding noises within its orifice.
Oh, Weller would clap. It caught it. Did you see that?
All right.
You don't want to lose these. Not good. It'll immediately eat the other one. Ah. Thank you. That is satiating. Not a good meal around here for miles.
Esmus would grab the bag and the stone speaker crystal back from.
Oh. What's that?
No. We had a deal.
I was just asking what it is. It looks nice.
It's just a.
You can see its eyes start watering.
It's just a worthless crystal that we found.
Oh, it smells so worthless. You might as well just drop it right in.
Show us the way. We had a deal.
Yeah, I was just saying if you have this worthless crystal, I mean, I could get rid of it for you.
No, we'll hold on to it in case we run into another of your kind.
You would give it to someone else and not me?
No, we wouldn't want to, but we could at least show it to them
And then?
Oh, I'm keeping it as a memento from my time down here whenever I get back up.
Yeah,
This is
see,
why
said
I do
some
not
of it had-
speak often.
Some of it had sentimental value. It's worthless, but it has a lot of sentimental value to us.
Cinnamon value. It
Yep.
smells tasty. Okay. If you would walk close to me so I can smell it along the way, would that be okay?
I'm gonna be honest, it's real weird, but I'm gonna leave that up to Casmus.
Just a little close. I'm not gonna
Okay,
eat it.
Jasmine.
I promise.
I'll make you a deal. Say the word cookie for me, and Casmus will walk beside you with it.
Cookie.
All right, Casmus, walk beside him with it. Let's go.
I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna keep a little bit of distance, but I'm not gonna be too far away.
Anytime you start to linger, he's gonna stop so you can catch up. But yeah, right this way. As it now with a full tummy, it will happily lead you along. Might be some things to jump over, or I can just slide through the earth. I don't think you can do that. But yeah, it's just right this way. To the mushroom place. Just be quiet when we get close. And it'll start kind of waddling ahead, like eagerly awaiting Casmus is following behind.
Funga's gonna try to make small talk with him along the way. So what's your name? I'm Fungi. Nice to meet you.
Name?
Yeah.
No one named me.
What do people call you? Oh, nobody?
No?
What would you want to name yourself?
I don't know. I like rocks. Name myself The Rock.
The Rock. You ever consider a career in film?
What? I've seen film on some of those mushrooms. They look sticky.
Yeah. Where are you from?
The Earth.
Okay.
But every time you would try to talk to it, it just kind of like you would see at least one of its eyes is always on Casmus as it's spinning around. Another eye would be kind of forward, and the third eye would be lingering between speaking to Fungi and throughout. But Stool will kind of have to translate for you, so he'll hang out with Fungi while Rumpadump gets dragged behind by Cappy. But continuing on with this creature showing you the way. Things go rather smoothly as it can kind of show you little, not shortcuts, but it seems to have spent some time in these crystal caverns looking for exquisite crystals. Rarely finding any, but yeah. So for this, I'm going to want everyone to give me a survival check at advantage. Because it's leading you. Because the rock.
I have to grab the explodey crystal before we left.
Thank God for the advantage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. As you're going over these treacherous crystals and small chasms and streams, like all the streams make this space extremely slippery, but it'll happily help you over them with its wide body. And about 2 days pass in this crystal cavern, going in and out of this same large space that you had been in before, into these smaller tunnels kind of going around and down. It is oddly quiet in here, aside from the noise you make mostly. You would occasionally hear skittering of rock falling or landslides, but for the most part, it's just you guys making noise. So you can get a long rest over the course of a couple of days. And is there anything you guys would like to discuss or do along your travels through this crystal cavern?
Well,
Are there any more of those explodey rocks that we could have harvested?
There is a bunch of them.
Are these, well, I don't know if Fungi is going to know them, but didn't we grab something like this way back in the beginning? Did Dargus have some of these?
Dargus collected some,
Big
yeah.
ones?
Yeah.
They're good for, like, blinding.
They
if I
blind.
remember right.
Yeah, exactly. You smash them and they blind. If you want to spend some time, you can. It will delay the travel.
Well, if we're doing it over, kind of, would I be able to try and harvest them while others are maybe like sleeping a little bit? Because I only take the 4-hour meditations.
Yeah, you could definitely try. Give me a nature check. The 17. Go and roll me 2d6.
Oh, bad roll.
Alright, you can only gain 3 of these. And essentially, as soon as they crack or break, these crystals do explode, blinding you. So I'd say on several attempts during the night, as everyone's sleeping, some people might be woken up by these bright flashes. As Fungi is trying to collect some of these stones. You get 3 of them, though, throughout the couple of days.
Do they have a name?
They have a name?
Flashbangs.
Yeah, just call them flashbang crystals. I don't think they actually have a name.
So how much would each of these things weigh? Pound, half a pound, anything?
They also shed light in a 10-foot radius, dim light. I'd say they're about 5 pounds each.
Oh, each?
Yep.
Just to confirm, you said we get a long rest?
You get a couple of long rests, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that.
And it's oddly like it's not too warm in here, not too cool. It's starting to get a little more humid as the travel goes. There's a dark, more white and black colored expanse. A little bit of like blue hue to the crystals. The occasional turquoise and stuff.
Can I talk to the Rock and just ask, mention that the area down here seems pretty undisturbed. Does he see a lot of travelers? Does he come across a lot of people or
I've never seen
of our-
anyone in here.
Wow, okay.
Not like you.
Not like him drow, or not like him all
Talking. Humanoids. I've seen burrowing creatures. Other creatures like myself. Elements of earth.
Anyone like that, a thing? He would point to the flump thing.
No. This place was closed off until recently.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
There was a
What-
big shake.
Big shake, okay.
I can go in and out of the earth real easy, though. As it'll just kind of sink down into the ground to show you. And then
That's
it'll
real
appear
cool,
right behind Casmus, as its eyes are looking at the crystal.
Has it been shaking a lot lately?
The stones feel weird. Everything tastes funny now. Some things taste funny, I guess.
Tastes funny good, tastes funny bad.
Bad. I don't want to eat all the crystals.
What do you think might make rocks taste different?
Either magic, where they grew up, how they were raised, and yeah, the environment.
So when you're eating these stones, does it matter if they're cut? Are you all about volume or are you about value?
What about taste? Got to taste good.
Uh-huh. So if my buddy Dusk were to have the same sapphire that's the exact same weight but may not have been cut as beautifully, would that have been as okay too?
Yeah, I can't taste shapes.
Okay.
So
as
I
we're
was
traveling,
I was
guess I'll
chewing
keep
on a
looking
nice vein a few months back. That was pretty good. I think it was the gold vein. It had occasional bits of ruby in it. Very nice.
So, do you prefer like metal or crystal?
Oh, you're gonna make me choose.
Well, no. I mean, it could be a sweet, savory kind of situation.
I think I like the crunch of the crystals better. That's why I come here. They crunch good in my mouth. Metal has to bend.
Mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Hey, you know all the rainbow swirly stuff? That's we're seeing that as we're traversing. this
You would
area.
not be seeing it anymore after you leave the
Okay.
small cave.
So I'll ask him, where the cave that you were eating originally when we met you, there was the rainbowy, swirly stuff. that
Yeah,
was
I
kinda
thought
all
those
around.
crystals would taste better. They tasted horrible.
So they tasted worse there where the rainbow swirly stuff was.
Yeah. They
Are
crunched,
you-
but it didn't taste right.
Are
Tasted
you
like it
coming
went
across?
bad.
You coming across more of that?
That was the first one I've seen.
Gotcha.
It wasn't there before the shaking.
And we know that to be Ferris dust.
The Pharisess, yeah.
Okay.
That is one example of the Pharisess. But there's
So-
there's it's a more twisted version of the Pharisess. If you mention the Pharisess to him, like the Pharisess that helps make this cave.
How so?
It helps compact it so the gems taste just a little bit better sometimes.
Hmm.
They take a while to grow, though. Sometimes it makes it taste worse, though. You never know.
So it seems like that big shake probably released more of that. in
It
that
did
area.
something weird.
Yeah.
So, have you considered like outsourcing?
Outwitsing?
Well, I mean, it seems like you would be ideal for moving a lot of earth and finding precious stones and stuff like that. Would you consider outsourcing yourself to, say, like the Draugr to help them find veins of certain metals, and in return you could get your fill of food and safety?
They would do that?
Well, I don't know. It'd be worth a shot. I mean, I figure that they know where there are probably lots of rich veins of metals and materials are, and here you are able to get to them fairly easy. I figure if, you made some sort of deal, that they would be open to something like that.
I have a friend past the mushroom people. Little gray dudes like point to Turvy.
Oh, gnomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got some of my friends are over there. They help them. But it's not worth it to me.
Okay. Food for thought. No pun intended.
I follow Entimok.
Who's Entomok?
They're the guys that make the donuts at the grocery store.
Stone God.
Uh-huh. It seems like a good thing.
It's all weird there. Don't taste good no more.
Huh. Because you have a
I don't
theory?
know. It just tastes weird.
Recently?
I haven't been in a while, but it started tasting bad a while back. I left. I said I'm gonna go check out this place where we are, and here I am, checking it out.
And your friends didn't leave. They like the taste of the rocks up there.
I don't know. They start acting weird.
That's good to know.
Yeah. There's also a mine there. They didn't like me eating all their crystals. There's actually a couple of mines. and a quarry. It's a big place, but they didn't like it when I took their stuff.
Can't imagine.
They weren't as nice as you guys.
Well, you haven't started taking our stuff yet. Anyway,
If it could smile, it kind of smiles. But as you make your travels across some of these streams and following these crystals for these couple of days, at the kind of near the middle of the second day, I think we're getting close. And down this way, past the bend, opens up. Small place. And you go down. And you're there. It opened up during earthquake. Previous earthquake. You would start to notice the white light shifting to a turquoise color as it leads you into this cavern that's maybe about 80 feet wide by, I don't know, 100 feet. As it has several streams running into it, kind of spilling out from the walls, small waterfalls of sorts. And in the center of the space here, that is dimly lit by these turquoise and white crystals, is a large hole in the ground. About 20, 25 feet wide.
Can we see the bottom?
You can see a faint glow from below it. Are you approaching this hole?
And you would get just at the edge, just looking down, see if we can see the bottom.
Yeah, about 100 feet down. You would notice. Give me a perception check.
Oh. 11.
All right, with an 11, about 100 or so feet down, you notice the glow of some other crystals. They appear to be on top of some sort of structure. Natural structure? It takes you a moment, but it's the top of some mushrooms.
How exactly we're supposed to go down there as he turns around to look at the group. It's pretty far down.
Well, I held up my end of the bargain. You guys got any more crystals?
We gave you 2. We had a deal.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Seem like there's some pretty fancy ones down there.
No, those taste bad. Too many mushrooms. Taste weird. Alright, well. Fine. If you guys die, I'm gonna eat your crystals, though.
That's fair.
they're all yours.
Great.
As long as you don't kill us.
No, I would never. As it just kind of starts to spin away from you guys. A waddle spin.
Alright. Nice seeing you, dude. We never got your name of.
Thanks, Rocky.
Right.
As it leaves the area of the spores. You can no longer communicate. You would just hear this k-k-k. As it disappears down the tunnel it came from.
So we can't really go down with the rope because we only got 50 feet. It's 100 feet down.
What's
got
wrong
it.
with climbing?
It's pretty much an open pit. It doesn't. It's like you're looking in the ceiling of a room, essentially. And 100 feet down, you can see the glow of mushrooms, of crystals. And actually, if you glance down, there's a lot of mushrooms. And it's a
Yeah.
big, expansive, like very similar to the Crystal Cave, but bigger. And
Cool.
sporadic bits of mushrooms here and there, bits of water that appear to be glowing, moss that is phosphorescent.
How tall would be the tallest mushroom that we can see? Approximately.
Probably close to the bottom, directly underneath this, which is 100 feet down. You can't really make out the ground distance. It might be 300, 400, 500 feet down.
Oh, okay.
But the topmost mushroom is 100 feet down from here. Give or take.
Any ideas?
Stool, rump a dump. There's no other ways around from here. Do you know?
He'll kind of waddle up, or Cappy will bring him over. Where is that?
You know any other ways
Look
around?
down.
I'm not looking down. That's a big hole. I don't want to die.
There's there's mushrooms down there. It's probably the cove or whatever you want to call it.
I
New
got
people.
I got where I got by teleporting. They transported through the mushrooms to other mushrooms to other mushrooms, and they took me with them. I didn't want to go. I don't know about flying mushrooms or floating or.
Yeah, does any of you guys can fly other than this thump?
Nope.
The
I
game
got
is no
levitate,
football.
but that's all.
Yeah,
not
levitation
really
is
like
gonna
a
keep us
descending.
up.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. No feather fall.
How many people can you cover with levitate? How much weight can you cover with levitate?
I think it's 500 pounds.
Yeah, so you can carry like essentially 1 or 2 people on the trip.
In addition to himself.
It'd be like one other, depending on who the person is. Like you could carry Fungi and Turvy.
Well, Dusk can climb. Fungi can
You
again.
can't climb
Wow.
down this. That's what I'm saying.
It's-
It's like
It's a sheer drop.
it's a sheer
The
drop.
hole
Yeah.
in the dome. Yeah.
There's no walls that we can see.
No. It's this giant freaking cavern. And you'd see spores flitting about the area below. It's down. Water.
There's one thing.
Yeah.
The spider could it do like get 1 or 2 people and use its web to get us down to the
Certainly try.
Go to Steeder. Steeders are if each of them was small instead of medium.
Steeders don't make web, I don't think.
No, they don't make web, but they can carry people.
Yeah.
I've got
So
a crazy idea.
you give
the
your
only
crazy idea,
problem-
then I'll give my crazy idea.
Okay, the only problem is we can see the top of a mushroom at 100 feet, but it's like 300 to 400 feet down from there. So
Maybe.
we don't know how we would navigate the rest of it. But I'm thinking for that mushroom, I also have a net. If I could cast levitate on the net down 60 feet and then tie a rope from the net, I mean, we could just jungle gym this bitch. Jump into the net that's levitating, shimmy down. That's 60 feet. That's 50 feet. I mean, we're at the mushroom cap.
Ah, that's better than my idea.
As you guys are discussing this,
Sounds fun.
I would like for everyone to give me a dexterity save.
Just for thinking about jumping.
Yep. Who was what? Rincewind. Or you just rolled yours twice. I need one for
Yeah, it just
Turvy
rolled
too.
twice again. I don't know
yeah,
why.
you're good. I was thinking it was for
There's
Turvy.
like a heavy delay, so I don't know if I clicked it again, thinking it didn't go, or okay. Then I'm gonna do Turvy. Dex.
Oof.
Oh.
As Turvy and Fungi and Weller each take 14 points of bludgeoning damage and 11 points of piercing damage as a thunderous burst from the wall nearby or from the ceiling kind of drops and flies towards you like a torpedo, landing between all of you.
How much did you say?
14 and 11, so for a total of 25.
I hate these things.
Oh, fuck!
As, yeah, Weller, everyone else would take half of that, so 7 and 5 for a total of 12. Weller and Turvy get knocked prone as a giant land shark creature with plate armor of looks like stone and this big mouth just comes barreling down at you all. Bring you to a map. And we're gonna roll initiative.
Ooh, that's funny.
And as we roll this initiative, we're gonna go ahead and show you the picture. We're gonna go ahead and take our little 5-10 minute break. And we'll come back with this creature. I didn't have the thing clicked. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Come back with whatever happens with this creature. So stick around, folks. We'll be back. Yes, it is the famous Boulet. Boulet? I don't know if the T's are silent or not. It's French for land shark. But stick around, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes. Alrighty, folks. We are back in it, and last we left off having found a way to the mushy people down a hole, not having gone down there, but having been led by a odd rock-eating elemental creature, discussing your plan to go down this hole to reach the mushrooms below, surging through from the wall and ceiling down around you, spreading you out and slamming down a large bullet as Patch is immediately giving Cass. Casmus gets the 1 buff. So, Casmus, you have +1 to every single roll for the next minute. Thanks, Patch.
Thank you, Patch.
And start at the top of the round. Rincewind.
Rincewind is going to. Let's see. I have to make a measurement, I guess. Rincewind is going to within range. Range is 30 feet. I'm gonna cast Bless at a 2nd level on.
Okay.
Let's go with Casmus, Dusk, Weller, and Fungi.
Roll me a d20.
Do-do. That's weird. The only one that's showing up for me is Fudge. Ah, there we go.
All right. It goes off without a hitch,
Awesome.
as everyone else feels blessed.
And then I'm going to kind of make my way back away from the big creature that came out of the ground
All right.
and kind of dip behind some rocks over here, see if I can make myself a little scarce.
Dipping behind
And-
some rocks.
And say, Turvy, come here. And then my turn.
Roll
I
initiative
don't
for
think I
Turvy.
rolled Turvy's
Yeah.
initiative. Shit. Come
He just
on,
got
Turvy,
knocked on
get
his
your fucking
ass. And don't forget, he took 25 points of damage.
I got it. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a 3. Looks like it's right on the edge.
Fair enough. Oh, because you had your token clicked.
Oh, oops.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You got a 20-something. So we'll do 25.
24.18.
He's got 25 now. Turvy got a 5.15. Alrighty then. That'll take us to dusk.
Dusk will look over at Turvy and say, "You might want to get up." And as a bonus action, he will ignite Dawn,
Okay.
and he will swipe at the creature.
Swiping away at 28 absolutely hits. For 10 points of radiant damage, you slash into this creature. It kind of looks like it rears up a little bit.
Okay, then take a second swipe at its rear.
All right. Second swipe is going to be a miss. As you kind of swing out with Dawn, the earth kind of shaking around, kind of throws up some dust, throwing off your aim.
Then whoop.
Running away. Anything else for Dusk?
That is it.
All right, that will take us to Fungi.
All right, I guess just the fungi special.
All right, getting Shaylele and the spores.
Yep. And then I guess just pray.
All right. How does Fungi pray?
Oh, fucking don't hit me, please. Please don't hit me.
All right. That'll take us to Casmus.
Bonus action X on that creature.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give Fungi inspiration for that little prayer. I like it. As what ability score are you going with for this hex, and what does that look like? We haven't seen this one in a while.
Shrinked, and Gaspus would just snap his finger and a reddish blue light would engulf the creature.
All right, as it just kind of faintly glows. Not a muscle one. We'll do that one. All right, that is your bonus action.
And for the action, he's going to use Shocking Grasp on it, as he's right
Okay.
there.
Yeah. A 20
That's sick.
will hit it.
plus
Plus the one
grass.
You not have a
9
one buff
plus-
on your thing?
Plus 1. No, I don't have one. Plus the 9 plus the 1d6.
Necrotic.
So plus 1d6.
Taking 13 points of damage as this arcing multicolored electricity runs around its arm where you grasp it. Or leg? Do you call four-legged animals? Well, you call it a leg. Yeah, answered my own question when I said that. Yeah.
That'll be for Cosmos.
Alright. That's going to take us to Weller on the ground.
I'll go ahead and stand up and take a swing at it with the old maul.
Breaking out the big maul.
Breaking out the big maul.
28's going to hit.
I will use a superiority die for menacing attack.
Oh, you're going to try to frighten this guy?
I'm going to try to frighten this guy. And also just do more damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's do that and that.
Ooh, for 12 points of damage. Is it... Wait, how many of those were... You can reroll one of those ones.
Yeah, I was going to say I can reroll one of the ones. What is that, D6?
Yes. Yeah, for 2 more points. So for 12, 13, 14 points of damage. And... see if I can get it to do it. Yeah, I'll just let you see it. It got a 13 on its save. Which I think fails.
One you always have to tell me. I know it's +4.
It'll be 11 plus your strength modifier. Its strength modifier is 4, so 15 is the DC. As this thing is indeed frightened of you.
The feeling's mutual. I will go ahead and extra attack on him.
Alright.
Let me uncheck superiority die real quick. There we go.
Yes, that hits.
And let's go ahead and...
When you're just smashing down on it, you would see it kind of like its eyes wince towards you, taking 16 points of damage. That one's from the one buff previously.
Do I have one buff?
I think you
selected?
got
I
the
do
one
have
buff
one.
kick.
Yep, I still have that selected.
So that's actually -1 from the previous. So it'll take 15. Still a hefty amount of damage as you whack into it. You hear this crunching of its outer shell. Anything else for Weller?
Oh, I mean, you know we're gonna waste them all right up front. So action
Okay,
surge.
absolutely. I love it. Use those resources. Yeah, 24 still hits. This thing is scared, and for 12 points of damage, just kind of wailing into the side of it, seeing like the cracks, almost like you're cracking into a solid piece of rock as you're hitting it for 12 more points of damage.
Feels satisfying after what it just did to me.
A 13, however, is going to be a miss. As it looks like it's going to be a miss. You tell me.
13 precision would be a superiority, a D8. Okay, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. So let me just roll a D8, or I can just hit superiority die, right?
Either or.
Just click that and roll it.
All right, hitting with every single one of your maul attacks. Yep, that works.
That's what we wanted.
Yep.
Take that superiority die away.
Roll some fancy damage with that maul for 13 more as this thing is just being battered to shit.
That's all I got, boys.
You can see several cracks all throughout its body. Its jaw kind of limp. It just got here. Did not expect this. That'll take us to its turn. Because the new character sheet, when you whisper on them, it makes it invisible. It got an 8. It's going to try to bite out at Weller at disadvantage. Weller getting a 20 to hit. As it's frightened of you, this large mouth opens up and you try to like dodge out of it, just clamps down on you. Rolled mediocre damage. You take 29 points of piercing damage as it just chomps down onto Weller.
That's enough.
As it just kind of like ragdolls him and tosses him to the side. It's then going to kind of leap up for a brief second and just enough to like turn it to face Casmus with its like kind of thick hug-like tail waving around in Fungai's face. That's gonna end its turn, taking us to Turvy.
Okay. Turvy's going to get up and kind of like dust himself off and be like, "Oh, shit!" And then he's going to immediately run. Well, use his action to dash, I guess. Back in between these rocks, hoping that the boule can't quite fit in there.
All right.
I'm going to put him right there and be like, "Look out for that thing," and end his turn.
All right. Taking us back to your turn, Rincewind.
Okay. Rincewind is going to step over here, and then actually he'll come over here so he has a little bit better line of sight. And he's going to take a bonus action to charge up one of his shots from his longbow, and he's going to shoot at the boule.
All right. Good old longbow.
I think it's rolling. If I hit it again, it's going to do it twice. Here we go, anyway. Oh, see,
roll 3 times. 12 is going to be a miss, though, as it bounces off of the bullet's armor.
Oh, gosh. And then I'm going to blitz back over here and kind of get out of line of sight and end my turn.
All right. I would say initiative 20, you would hear and feel more rumbling throughout this cave as rocks start to kind of fall in the area. Just little pebbles and stuff. That'll take us to Dusk.
Dusk will dart back up. And he'll take a swing at the side of the creature.
All right. A side swing.
Side swing.
A 16 just misses.
He will take another swing.
A 28 just hits. No, as you just swing directly into its abdomen, it takes 8 points of radiant damage.
And then momentarily, Dusk will seem to concentrate and move very quickly. Flurry of blows.
Okay. Slamming into with your unarmed strikes, that definitely hits.
So he will open palm it in the side where he struck it with the blade.
Yeah.
And simultaneously as he does that, his tail will lash out and slap Weller in the face.
He's got a prehensile tail.
He's cat.
And you've hit him with every appendage you got almost.
And
almost.
And as Weller's eyes start, suddenly pop open, Dusk will look him in the eye and say, "You have to stop doing this." And he'll scamper back off.
All right. As Weller, you have 5 hit points. Which will take us to Fungi.
All right. One guy's going to try and grab at him with his.
14, as you try and whack at it, you just kind of it has a very heavy duty shell. It's like essentially plate armor. As you're just hitting rock, it seems like.
For your inspiration, you want us to call that like at the beginning of it before we roll, right?
You know what? If we're planning on switching over the new rolls, you can re-roll it. You can use that re-roll now if you want.
Just use it now.
I'm okay with that,
Try that one more time.
especially because we're planning on switching over. Pretty sure. 14.
Banger.
Yeah, as you kind of looking like, no, that's a hard spot. You kind of switch around and hit a different spot, and it's a hard spot too.
Okay, and we'll all try whacking with the other end of my staff.
All right. 18 is gonna hit.
All right. We'll hit him with that.
As you try and get underneath, it'll take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Along with a little bit of necrotic.
And 3 points of necrotic damage. This thing is looking pretty weary, tired, but honestly, just more pissed off than anything.
And that'll do it for my turn.
All right, that'll take us to Casmus.
Same thing again. He's gonna do a shocking grasp. Trying to hit it.
15's gonna be a miss. And 16's gonna be a miss, even with the 1 buff. Just barely. You try to reach out, that electricity doesn't take hold anywhere on it as it's just kind of spinning around from being hit on its backside.
And as this bonus action, he's gonna Misty Step away.
All right. Roll me a d20. I forgot to do it for Hex. I'm not going to forget again. Oh,
God,
roll me a
boy.
d100.
Oh boy.
$76, is that right?
Yes, 76.
Roll me a wisdom save.
At least I got advantage on these.
I'm sorry, it's not a wisdom save. But would your con be different?
It would be less.
Or it is a wisdom save. No, yeah. As Casmus, you do Misty Step away wherever you want.
Here comes
Easy
the
again.
issue.
It's 30 feet away, so
Yeah.
easy to Misty Step down there.
As you're a goat, you transform into a sheep.
Oh God.
Finally, a decent meal down here.
Yep. As when he reappears, Casmus does not reappear. Instead, a sheep does.
He's like, "G'day. You come here often?"
Well, he's finally got horns.
Yeah.
Anything else for Casmus? You have an intelligence of 2.
No, he can't do anything, so no.
He can move around if you want.
No, it'll stay right there.
All right. That's gonna take us to Weller. As you would hear, meh. Meh. As there's a sheep down here.
I guess I got to stand up again. man, I mean, we gotta take this sucker out. I'm gonna swing at it again.
All right, standing up. This thing's still frightened of you from last time.
Fantastic. Let's take a swing at it.
25 gonna hit.
That's gonna hit. If I do menacing attack on it again, will it just continue through the end of my next turn? Or if it's because it's affected, it doesn't apply? How does that work?
It needs to break line of sight with you, I think, to lose the fear. Or it could have rolled at the end of its turn, actually, I think.
It says it's frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so you would need to essentially redo it if you wanted it to be frightened of you again.
So I can do it again on this attack.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You
Alright,
can
I'll
even
give it
do
a shot.
menacing attack when it's already frightened. Of
Ooh,
something else,
make
and just to do extra damage.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, we'll do that. I'll do that. And
Put a little
I'll
growl on it as
do
you
that.
swing.
Security. Okay, I think I got it. I'll check. Let's give it a shot.
Ooh. For 18, as this thing starts to buckle under its feet, it kind of takes a dive for a second, but gets up.
I really needed to do more than buckle. I'm not looking great over here. All right. Extra attack, might as well. Why not?
Yeah.
Let me uncheck superiority and I want to save that one. Find them all. There we go.
25 hits.
Oh, re-roll that.
Reroll that one. All right. If it was a 2 or less, as you slam into this thing, it starts to get back up. You're like, no, I really need it to go down. You slam into its mouth, crunching it into its own, like its top jaw into its lower jaw as it collapses to the
Why did
ground.
that just give me chills? Like, not the good ones either.
But as it does, we'll hop out of combat. As the earth is still lightly shaking around the space here. Unsure from what. But area's not quite quiet. Adrenaline still there, and you have a sheep in your presence.
Oh god. All right. So I don't know. I guess
They'll all be
Ring
red
will-
there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I
That's-
guess
that's
we
the
need to try
whole-
to execute Weller's plan as quickly as possible.
Well, I had one other plan to share, is that we didn't use the pygmy warts. Last time I how many of these I got. Oh, shit! I only got one. We have I don't know if anybody else has more pygmy warts, but you guys get small. I can probably carry you down as a steeder or a giant lizard or something like that. Those have at least spider climb.
But there's nothing for you to climb.
There's nothing for you to climb.
Oh, okay, it's just
It's it's like you're in the middle of a stadium, and you know there's like one of the ceiling tiles missing. You're
Yeah.
staring down into it.
Like Rincewind said.
yeah. There's
hold
nothing
on.
else if we
Yeah,
try
it's a-
going like underneath, like down the dome-ish.
It's less of a dome. It's more of a
Hole in the ground.
and
Hole in the ground.
not quite sure how. I mean, you can certainly try
Can be a
climbing
salmon.
on the ceiling forever.
I see water. Can you swim downstream?
Let's push the Boulet's body off the thing and watch it fall. 'cause we're a bunch
Thing
of-
weighs about 2 tons.
Jesus.
It's heavy.
Let's push
on
the
the
goat
way.
off the edge and see what happens because we're a bunch of dudes.
No.
No, let's. We should probably get a rope around Casmus just to make sure. And
As he starts drinking water.
You mean
Yeah.
a leash?
Yeah, he's probably trying to drink water or drink or eat the
Do we see any other path?
No,
I mean, all we've done is walk
It's-
in here and
it's-
see the hole.
it's a
Okay.
dead end in here.
Great. So it's down or nothing.
Hey, fun guy. If we hit this thing all the way down to 0 hit points, or like knock it out, do you think he'll turn back into Chasmus? Like the
I
power
don't
that you
even know
have?
what that thing is now. I got no idea what's gonna happen. I never seen that before.
Well, before we make a lead for it, we might need the rope.
Well, yeah.
Well, Cass,
Is the bag of holding wild
Yeah.
shaped into the goat?
Yeah.
God damn it.
All right. Well,
Another subtle quake echoes across as you realize this.
I don't think
Right.
muscle restoration is gonna fix him.
I mean, let's be on alert here, because see if that thing's gonna pop out. Another one of these things is gonna pop out, and
I can levitate a net down to 40 to 60 feet and then 40 feet to the mushroom
all right,
since we don't have the rope.
Do it.
do it.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Okay. So you're essentially you're going to levitate someone in the net all the way down?
No, the net. I'm going to like levitate down to 60 feet for us to basically
Jump
have
into?
a safety net to jump into like one at a time.
Well, you might as well levitate one person down with it initially.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that because I can do up to 500 pounds.
Absolutely. Yeah, you cast levitate on a net, and it's floating there.
Floating down there.
Yep.
And you can
Okay.
lower it.
Is there... Would it fuck anything up? Because I know it's also concentration. If I were to do dancing lights, like give us some illumination down there to see what we got going on.
Is dancing lights concentration?
Yeah.
Then
So I
yeah.
couldn't do both of them.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not totally dark down there, so all right, we'll do the net. Who wants to go?
Well, you'd probably be the one to ride down with it.
Fuck it. Let me ride down with it.
Okay. I'd say that's easy enough to do. Ride down 60 feet.
Take the goat with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Weller's going to try to wrangle the goat.
I mean, I'm not going to try. The goat's either going to go with me willingly or unwillingly, but it's going with me.
Yeah, I don't think the goat really has any choice.
Yeah, you're much stronger than the goat. It's not going to get away from you.
Grab it by one of those horns.
Yep.
Choke up on it. Keep it tight.
As you drift down 60 feet. And you would realize you can't even see the floor in here. It's just large mushroom stalks drifting up out of this kind of fog of spores. And you're about 40 feet above.
All right. I'll go first, trying to
As-
identify the largest mushroom stalk directly under the net.
Well, Weller's already down there.
All the way down there?
Is Weller going all the way down with the net? Because you're within range of it, you can levitate yourself
Yeah.
down to the mushroom stalk that is, or the cap that is up there.
I mean, how many
Oh, wait,
trips
I
can you take?
Hang on, say that again. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
So because you're within 60 feet of it, you can levitate on it infinitely.
So he could just ride each of us
You
down
can essentially
one by one.
ride. Well, they would have to take that 40-foot drop. So essentially, Weller, you
Through the
can make
net.
your way to one of these mushroom tops, which is right below this huge mushroom cap. Essentially, riding the levitate down.
Okay.
How long does levitate last?
10 minutes, a minute.
I think it's a minute. It's got to be more than a minute, right?
10
minutes.
10
up
minutes.
to 10 minutes.
So you got enough time to do this for sure. So you could then hop off onto this mushroom cap with a goat in hand, re-levitate the rope, the net, back
net,
up
yep.
60 feet. So then they would just have to jump 40
feet.
a 40-foot drop and hopefully
Into
landing
the net.
on the net.
Well, if we got
Or-
10 minutes, what's its speed that it can go up and down?
20 feet around.
20 feet per
Why-
20 feet every 6 seconds, 10 feet every 2
Yeah.
seconds.
But it
Let's
can't
just-
go above 60 feet away from Weller.
No, I know, but what if you
But
just
if Weller's still
can't
on the
ride it up
net,
and down, carry
you
one
can just
person at a
go up
time?
and
What
down.
if I just ferry like an elevator? I'm the elevator attendant.
Because of the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, how much is Weller weigh? With everything.
With all of his gear,
Yeah.
Does the pygmy thing make me weigh less?
probably about 250. Maybe a little
It's
more.
got to be the heaviest
And
one
he's
of the
also
group.
18 strength. How tall is Weller? 5'4". So I'd say about 250.
I'm a short king.
And the levitation.
can- he can
How
take
much?
me.
So he
Who
could
would
technically,
he
yeah,
have
he
problems
could
with?
just ride it up and down. What are you doing with
Yeah,
that goat?
That goat's fucking hanging out on the top, man.
Oh boy.
I hope that
take
goat
the
makes
goat
good
with
decision.
fungi.
I'll ride down with you and the goat, and then when we get down, I will hold on to the goat.
I liked my
Give me the rope, and
the goat's
I will hold him like a leash.
the goat's just living his best life. All right,
I
so we'll do that.
suggest we do it because 10 minutes isn't
Yep.
that long.
Fun guy's
Okay.
going down with me and the goat. I'm leaving Fun Guy. I'm ferrying
So
back
for
up and down.
purposes of this,
Who's got the fox and the grain?
yeah, exactly. I do want everyone to give me an athletics check for jumping onto the net from at least because it's like just to make sure you don't fall. It's not going to be a high DC because it is precarious.
I'm assuming everyone but me, right?
That's great because it's not going to be a high roll.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, it's Cappy will just float down with you guys. One by one, being ferried to the top of this multicolored mushroom cap, you can see this vast forest of mushrooms. Not all of it forested, but this kind of cave-like expanse that would have dottings of mushrooms below poking up out of this fog, this mist, or rather these clusters of spores that are kind of dimly lit up. And bouncing onto the top of the mushroom cap, it is a little slippery, but as long as you don't make any sudden movements, it's not that bad. Noticing several other jutting out giant mushrooms, some of them mostly giant in the form of their stalks, as they are easily a couple 100 feet tall. You can't quite see below entirely, but it is a very high viewpoint, above which you can see glittering sparkles, some gems actually growing on the mushrooms up top here, so close to the proximity of like leaking down out of there. Still see that little bit of glow from the ceiling and the hole that you guys came out of. Seeing pillars of stone jutting out from the mist, and it's like if you're looking over from a mountaintop on a foggy forest, and occasional mountains kind of jutting up, or like karsts almost, is what these mushrooms are like. I tried to make an AI image of this, and it did not like it. But it's a really surreal kind of thing, as you guys are on top of these mushrooms. Or this one mushroom. And you can see other taller mushrooms nearby. Some shorter. Some going into the mist below. This fog of spores.
So I'm going to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. the arrangement of mushrooms that you're describing, are they in such a way that we could bound down them?
It would be precarious, but you could certainly try. And some of them even look like they have some kind of sticky goo connecting them. Or like there's other mushrooms growing from other mushrooms. They don't all look the same. It's and fungi, with your knowledge of mushrooms, these are kind of like zirkwoods, but there's something different about all of them. They're each unique in their own way. It's like some offshoot of a zirkwood spanning throughout, almost like branches of a tree, but not.
So we need to try to determine the safest route down, and I do need to mention that doing this with a goat will be problematic.
Trying to remember the music I got for this one.
So we have to decide curry or chops.
I also will just, to throw another wrench in the plan, say that if we're going to be bounding, I'm pretty banged up. I do have a second wind that I can use though, so before we waste any healing on me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if we want to take a little breather here and think about what our next move is between jumping to the next mushroom, that's a great idea. But I mean, how often can you do this levitate thing? Is that once a day?
It's once every long rest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess let's take a rest and try to plot what we're gonna our next route, our next steps anyway.
So do we intend to rest for a short period of time?
Yeah, because we
How big
just
is
had
this
a
mushroom that we're on?
Maybe about 30 feet wide, 40.
Does it feel pretty stable, or is it
Before it
like
starts to
swaying?
like dip. It's slippery. It is slick.
Well, no one move. And
fun guy. Watch out for the goat. I think he's trying to nibble on you.
This mushroom, not me.
Dusk, standing next to Weller, will do a very martial artist 4-finger rapid poke on him.
Weller dies instantly.
Oh, literally.
Oh shit!
Dying.
That's the opposite of dying.
He said he's burning all of his focus points.
And then he will just sort of sit down carefully and proceed to be in a meditative state.
So what is that? 30?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Taking
thank
that
you,
short
Gus.
rest.
Well, if we're gonna do a short rest, then yeah, I'll go ahead and burn my second wind.
All right.
I am too.
So
Because I'm hesitant to have you burn hit dice. In other words, use your own energy.
Yeah, as you're kind of sitting down on this mushroom cap, you would see a kind of relieved look over both Stool and Rumpadump as they both just kind of hug the mushroom that you guys are standing on. I didn't say you got a short rest.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
My
You
bad.
can keep that for later. But you would occasionally hear noises echoing throughout, but muffled at the same time from below. The occasional skittering of something in the ceiling that you can't quite see. Yeah, you can get a short rest. I was just fucking with you.
Man,
You never know. But unfortunately, Casmus does not get a short rest. Because he's a goat the whole time.
No.
As you guys have to kind of wrangle the goat from slipping off. All the goat.
Stupid fucking furnace.
Yeah. They don't care about gravity. They laugh at the face of falling off cliffs and mushrooms. But after about 55 minutes, Casmus, your form comes to. As you're a person once again.
I'm still voting for the curry.
real weird you
That
turned
can
into
still
a goat.
happen.
Yeah. Blame the bears that's around here.
No, I'm just thinking of all the things you could have turned into. You went to a goat.
Do I look like I had a choice? You really think if I had a choice I would turn into a goat?
Are you sure that subconsciously you don't believe yourself to be a goat?
I would hope
As the
not.
guy that made a pact with the devil.
Mhm.
What's your mom
Yeah.
like?
Yes, that was very bad.
Casper would just stare at Dusk after that comment.
Dusk is just like blank stare back at him.
I like to imagine that Dusk's eyes are closed. He's just meditating. He's not even looking at him.
Right. How do we go down?
Yes.
As you look about, there are a few taller mushrooms sprouting up nearby, almost like a cluster in this area. Some of them are connected, others does require a jump of some kind if you were to traverse the tops of them. But all of them are different textured, different looking kind of mushroom caps. Some of them are the tall, or those the bolette mushrooms. You guys
No,
just
that's the guy we just killed.
Yeah. No, that's what they're called, right? Those they're expensive and they're fancy as fuck. They're kind of like webbed and tubular.
The red ones with white dots. Make sure you lick them as you pass them.
If there's any shiitake down here, I'm allergic to them if they're raw or uncooked. So
No, that's not the bullet. I don't remember what I'm thinking about. But they're all of a wide variety. But also kind of less bouncy, more hard and super fibrous.
May I make a
wonder.
suggestion?
Sure.
We've done something similar. Whoever jumps first, we tie a rope to them. They take with them the rod. And when they jump, when they reach the next mushroom, or if they're about to plummet, activate the rod. And someone else on this end hold the rope. Make sense?
It does.
Keep sending like we did last
So
time. You
Weller,
keep
here's the rod.
Oh shit.
no, don't send Weller. Send Cappy with the rock. He or whatever was
Aw.
able to carry and activate it.
I was
Yep.
hoping we'd do the more fun version.
I mean,
Also-
I can jump the rod. It's on my hip right here. I
Also,
can jump
just
with it.
wondering out loud, some of these appear to have a more viscous, sticky residue on them. Not as slick as the one that we're on. Might that serve to allow us to
Oh.
shimmy down them, similar to the oil when we were on the not
That's
the
exactly
Silk
what I
Road,
was
but
gonna
I always
think.
call it the Silk Road.
Well, depending upon the shape of the mushroom.
I mean, weren't we going like horizontally instead of vertically?
If we get the rod. We put it right here. We attach the rope to it. We could probably maybe shimmy down the to the stalk and grab the stalk and slide down.
Before we begin this, we might be making this more difficult than it needs to be.
No,
Stool.
not us.
Stool.
Kind of shakes its head, releasing some spores. Did you say my name?
I did.
Did you see everything
Um,
around right here? Or at least
I
close.
see, but we appear to need to go down. Do you know of an easier way?
Nope, this is my first time seeing it like this.
It was worth asking.
But, it looks weird. But cool.
Well, shall we attempt to use the Cappy method to reach a mushroom that feels like we could use to go down?
I think that's our best bet.
So we just we're just crawling along the rope.
And find the closest, stickiest looking mushroom?
Just a rinse and repeat process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say if we heard any of the sticky ones that we come across, take the sticky, really just work it on your hand so you keep your grip on the rope.
Oh yeah. Hands, feet.
I think Weller, since he's got the highest strength, stays on the other end holding the rope paw.
Yeah.
And that's just keep making the jumps.
All right. We'll say for this purpose, everyone give me athletics checks as you start this process of using Cappy to traverse over some of these mushrooms and continue that method with the rope and going across with the rope and jumping
Jumping
with the
from
rope.
mushroom to mushroom could it be also acrobatics?
No.
No.
Oh, my sheet freaked out.
Yes, I got. No, it's not.
Hold on.
You're just gonna throw an extra one of those in there.
Come on, come on, come on.
All right. Through this process, Casmus, if you roll me a d10. All right. After a couple of hours of doing this, you are slowly descending. Casmus, you would suddenly realize the ointment that you had at your side. Can't be the chain. I actually miscalculated. It should have been D8. But the ointment that you had at your side in your pouch is gone. As a couple of times you remember stumbling, but you don't remember anything happening by it. As it fell out of your pouch at one point while you were climbing across. The Kyogtom's ointment. Kyogtom?
Jogtomar. I don't know how to pronounce that either.
Has the H before the T, so it's confusing. But yeah, you would realize that it's missing. And you kind of think back to one time when you're like, in the last like 30 minutes, slinging across, you kind of biffed a jump and stumbled a little bit. But you get to a point where a lot of these mushrooms seem to be connected as you probably descend at least 100 feet, maybe 200, as you're very close to the top of this kind of mist, this spore fog below you. Within maybe 40 or so feet. Still unable to see the bottom, but you get glimpses of mushrooms within it now that you're close enough to see. And a lot of these, again, are quite connected, and still occasional crystal going here and there. There's a couple of paths down. You can kind of see somewhat connected. You can actually walk, or at least it looks that way, as there's this weird viscous stuff connecting them. Almost like wood, viscous wood connecting to some of these mushroom caps, like they've grown in strange and odd ways. Crystals kind of illuminating the path, growing on the mushroom caps themselves. It's almost like a walkway, but not quite, exact. There's a couple going down into the below. How do you proceed? Or do you proceed?
Stool, Rumpadump, do you recognize where we are?
Stu would be like, no, I've been here once when I was a baby. Just a little spore. And Rumpadump be like, I didn't come this way. They teleported a lot. I think we're near the edge, if I had to guess, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to fall.
Really?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Somebody's gonna have to hold me back. Anyway. You guys are no help at all. All right.
I'm sorry, we're very young.
So how would you even know if you're home or not?
I feel it in the spores. It's
Feels it in his spores.
yeah. And it's it's just like, when you get that feeling when the spores touch your body and you're like, yes, I'm home.
Oh, you're gonna feel it in the spores, all right.
What do you
All right.
mean?
I mean, give us a little direction here. I mean, we're kind of like, do you have any inkling of which way we should, do you feel like we're closer to a home? I mean, I don't know, your home.
Well, it's all
Because the
connected.
reality of the situation is we've been going down and down and down
Yeah,
and down,
yeah.
and everybody else is trying to go up. So we're going down and down and down for you. So we're kind of hoping that there's going to be some sort of
Well, I mean, once we get on the ground, we'll be
recognition of
able to figure out a way, I think. Maybe we'll see some more mechanids.
So why don't we just do this? Flump can carry the fun guy, right? Not fun guy, but the fun guy.
He can carry Stool and Rumpadump.
Yeah.
He's not strong enough to carry anyone else.
Can he carry them and float down and try to scope out a path for us? Surely between the three of their brain cells, they can understand what we need from them.
And I may have missed
that's
this,
gonna
but can
help.
we discern how much further down we have to go?
You can't quite see through the fog, but you can start to get a semblance of, like, you do see fragments of earth jutting up, like stalagmites. But you actually could see the occasional rock, like that isn't quite a stalagmite, more of like a pillar of earth So
How-
there's a semblance. It's a couple 100 feet below.
Okay.
You're making progress, but it has to be like,
See,
unless you want to jump, climbing down or like slowly hopping from mushroom to mushroom is probably the safest bet.
Yeah.
But
Suppose we'll continue to do that.
How does jumping into water work?
well, it feels like concrete from a certain height.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
In the old rules, you could make a what is it, 330? You could make an athletics check, and you reduce the falling damage by half. But at this distance, that wouldn't make much of a difference.
I'm just trying to remember that it appeared like there were waterfalls that were flowing.
There were, and they would have been. That's why that first one was so slick, because the water was
Yeah,
falling
just-
onto that cap.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah.
Let's just continue as we were. It'll take time, but we can't afford just to jump.
So, do we want them to try to scout out a easier way down, a quicker way down, if there is a way down, or just continue with what we've been doing?
Well, it seems like at this point there is like kind of almost unnatural walkways down into the
Yeah.
fog.
Okay.
It goes from like it's more closer knit sort of caps that are
So we can move
attached.
a little faster, and it's a little less difficult.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you would say, no need to stick to the rivers and the lakes that we're used to. So let's
Correct.
go ahead.
And there would even be like some smaller mushrooms around, like growing on these mushrooms. It's like it's mushroom on mushroom on mushroom kind of thing.
things that just gave me an aneurysm.
Yeah. It was like, yo, dog, I heard you like mushrooms, so we put mushrooms on your mushrooms. That way, when you are climbing mushrooms, there's other mushrooms on top of the mushrooms. And when you're tired of mushrooms, there's still more mushrooms. But with this glistening kind of like spore light about the space, passing by some crystals that are growing on the place. What is your... Well, you would start to hear a couple of mushrooms ahead on one of the caps start absolutely shrieking
Oh, God.
as a pair of mushrooms are just going loud, high-pitched. You know, what was that? Dumb and Dumber. Do you want to hear the worst sound? You know what the worst sound in the world is? It's that. Just that. Over and over.
Stool, rub it up. Is this an alarm? Can you talk to them?
That's a shrieker.
Can you talk to them? Can you tell them
Oh,
to
shit.
stop?
You don't say.
I could try.
Is the shrieker bad? Are we gonna get attacked?
Oh, they just make noise when everyone's nearby.
Why?
Because they're called shriekers.
To scare the people to eat them away. Some people, we grow them around the place for alarms.
Oh,
So
Oh,
having one around would mean that we're close to somewhere where there would need to be an alarm.
Maybe. I mean, they grow naturally.
Oh, okay.
I'll go tell him to be quiet.
Also, maybe ask him if he knows where we're going.
I don't think they're that smart.
Okay.
They're just a mushroom.
Well, I mean, you're just a mushroom man, but like we like you, and you've been helpful.
Yeah, but I have an 8 intelligence.
Oh, okay.
They
I'm
have
very meta of you, Stool.
this just
He's-
said so
He has the
casually.
intelligence of a little kid, essentially.
Stool is like Deadpool, just breaking the fourth wall here.
And he'll kind of waddle up to one of these shrieking noises. And after about 20 or so seconds, that noise would stop. But then you would hear another noise.
And there was a reason they were screeching.
This incessant droning, like 8 wings beating together rapidly. This buzzing noise. As Stool would start kind of waddling back to you guys.
So,
Cool. What did you do?
Turn to be quiet. Please.
Yeah, but there's a droning noise now.
Yeah, was he going
Yeah.
off because of us or something else?
They were going off because of something else.
I don't know what that is.
Do we recognize this drone
Be
noise?
ready for something.
Give me an intelligence check, Weller. I'll give you advantage on it as you're thinking about it. Trying to rack your brain. Like, is this familiar?
Appropriate.
Must have been one of the memories that got wiped.
Yeah, damn.
But as you're kind of trying to think about it and like talking to Stool, from above in the darkness, maybe rapidly approaching you, you would see this 6-legged, 4-winged insectoid creature. Bluish gray, kind of steel colored exoskeleton. 2 oddly not insectoid eyes, and like looks like a mullet kind of thing. And proboscis. One of these creatures flying towards you at breakneck speeds. And guess what? I'm going to bring you to another map. Those are the little shriekers. They look like little shriekers. And as this thing flies towards you guys, we're going to roll initiative. Surprise. And as we roll our initiative, that will be a good spot to end tonight. Hey, this thing beat you.
I
Just
just can't roll well on initiative.
I clicked it, but
It'll show up next week.
it'll show up.
But yeah, we'll end tonight here as the group has entered the space of the mushy people, the edges of Neverlight Grove, making their way down into it. Seeing this demonic insectoid creature. It's fun looking. Buzzing towards them. We'll find out how they manage this one next time. So, thanks for watching, folks. We will see you next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. For more Out of the Abyss.
Good night, Twitch.
Good night, Internet.
Laters.
Hey,